All right, hello wine drinking people. Today is Friday, the 2nd of September. And although it's been a slow week, we have got a lot of stuff coming up the month of September. We're going to be talking about the pairings event that will be going on just 2 weeks from now. 40 wineries, 40 different restaurants. That is going to be fantastic. But what have we got to sell you today? We've got an event here a week from today in the store. We've got Paul Trione, the brand manager for Flora Springs Winery, will be here. We've got a vertical selection of Trilogy, their top wine, and all the current releases we'll be showing. And of course, Toni will be here making some tasty treats to go along to accompany the tasting wines. And Flora Springs Winery, for those of you who do not know, was established in the late 70s by Jerry and Flora Gomez. They bought actually the place from Louis Martini. He used to live there. That was his home. And they started this winery. They fell in love with the business. So did their kids. And shortly it became a family affair. They have about 1,100 acres today throughout the Napa Valley on their various ranches and making some very nice wines. About 65% of that fruit they sell off, and they just keep a small amount of it for themselves, the best of the best. And the wines have really gone from strength to strength over the years, even though there's been some problems along the way. I remember the 1994 barrel fermented Chardonnay when I worked at Republic National. Very hard to sell that wine. It had some kind of oxidation problem. But today, with technology and things, wine's very much more consistent. Trilogy now in its 24th vintage. The 2007 release, celebrating their 24th anniversary, and a great vintage to be doing that. And we're going to be tasting 2002, 2003, 2004, 5, and 6 Trilogy. We only have the 2007 to sell. Hey, they may have a little bit at the winery. It helps to know that people like Paul Trione, the brand manager. And we've done dinners with John Gomez through the years. A very jovial fellow, and a lot of fun to have at a wine dinner. He's not one of these guys that just sits there and talks about fermentation tanks and oak barrels and things like that. He's always got a few good jokes. And the wines of Flora Springs, we're going to be showing, well, not the whole lineup. They got a lot of stuff they don't sell here, a lot of small production wines available only at the winery. But, everything that they've got available in this market, we will have. The Soliloquy, one of the greatest Sauvignon Blancs made in Napa. And they make a tiny amount of this wine now compared to what they used to, but it's $18 a bottle. I remember we were charging $20, $30 retail for this wine just a few years ago. The Chardonnay Napa, which is a really clean and fresh style of Chardonnay, $13.20. One of the best values that I've had this year from Napa Valley. They're barrel fermented, still excellent, and only 900 cases produced. At one time, these guys were considered one of the greatest Chardonnay and Cabernet producers in Napa. There's a lot more competition today, but not at $21.75 there ain't. This is one of the best Chardonnays that I've had this year in that price range. An excellent bottle of wine, a lot more full body than the Napa, and a little bit more oak and a nice creamy texture, but not overly oaked. A lot of ripe tropical fruit there and great acidity. The Merlot, ditto that. I mean, a really nice value for $17.25, and it has some concentration and depth there. Not all Merlots are light, watered-down wines. It tastes insipid and boring. This wine's got some character to it and some tannins. The Cabernet Sauvignon Napa 2007. What can I say? 2007 is a great vintage in Napa. Well, check it out. Everything we've got to show you. There's only 15 people that we can seat at this tasting because we are going to do a walk-around tasting for the current releases and then sit down in our tasting room. We can only fit 15 people back here. So hurry up. Give us a call if you want to come to this one. It'll sell out quickly. All right, folks, I'm your host, Andrew Lampasone, signing off for the Wine Watch, saying remember, always drink the good stuff first.